Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean's surface, something unprecedented had just occurred. The water temperature around the Challenger Deep had spiked dramatically, creating a thermal anomaly that caught the attention of every major oceanographic institution worldwide. Dr. Sarah Chen stood on the deck of the research vessel Nautilus, her eyes fixed on the sonar readings that defied conventional physics. "There's definitely something down there," she muttered, brushing aside a strand of dark hair that had escaped her ponytail. "And it's not geological." The object, if it could be called that, had descended into Earth's deepest ocean trench 12 hours ago, moving with deliberate precision. Initial readings suggested it was roughly the size of an aircraft carrier, but its composition was unlike anything their instruments had encountered before. Captain Rodriguez of the Nautilus approached, his weathered face etched with concern. "Dr. Chen, the Navy's demanding we pull back. They're sending in their own teams." Sarah barely registered his words, her attention captured by new data streaming across her tablet. The object was emitting quantum signatures that shouldn't exist in nature. As a quantum physicist, she recognized patterns that her colleagues might miss, patterns that suggested intelligence, purpose, and technology far beyond human understanding. "They can try to remove us," she replied, her voice steady. "But I'm the only one who can make sense of these readings. This isn't just another USO, Captain. This is first contact." Before Rodriguez could respond, the ocean around them began to glow. Brilliant azure light pulsed from the depths, creating patterns that rippled across the water's surface. Sarah's instruments exploded with data as quantum fluctuations cascaded through the atmosphere. The ship's communications officer burst onto the deck. "We've lost all contact with mainland. Every electronic device within a 100-mile radius is going haywire." Sarah watched in awe as tendrils of light began to rise from the water, forming complex geometric patterns in the air. Her quantum sensors were detecting something impossible, a field of organized energy that seemed to be actively rewriting the laws of physics in its immediate vicinity. "It's not an attack," she whispered, understanding dawning in her mind. "It's an invitation." The military arrived within hours, destroyers, aircraft carriers, and something else, a ship Sarah had never seen before, sleek and black, bearing no national markings. A helicopter deposited Commander James Hayes on the Nautilus's deck, his stern expression suggesting he'd prefer to be anywhere else. "Dr. Chen, I understand you've been monitoring the anomaly since its arrival," he said, not bothering with pleasantries. "We need your insights, but understand that from this point forward, everything you've observed is classified at the highest levels." Sarah crossed her arms. "With all due respect, Commander, we're beyond military classification now. That object down there, it's not just alien technology. It's trying to communicate with us." Hayes' expression didn't change, but his eyes narrowed slightly. "Explain." Sarah led him to her makeshift lab, where holographic displays showed the quantum patterns she'd been analyzing. "The energy field it's generating isn't random. It's structured, complex, but more importantly, it's adaptive. Every time we scan it, the patterns shift slightly, becoming more aligned with our technology. It's learning." "Learning what, exactly?" Hayes asked, his voice tight with controlled tension. "How to talk to us," Sarah replied, pulling up a new set of data. "But here's what's truly fascinating. The quantum signatures suggest it's not just a ship or a probe. It's a hybrid of biological and technological systems, unlike anything we theorized possible. And the way it's interfacing with our reality." She paused, knowing her next words would sound impossible. "I believe it's not just communicating through technology, but through consciousness itself." Hayes was silent for a long moment, then spoke quietly. "Dr. Chen, what I'm about to tell you is known to less than 10 people on Earth. 3 months ago, we detected a signal from deep space, a transmission that our best codebreakers couldn't decipher. Last week, we received a response from somewhere beyond our solar system. Whatever's down there in the trench, it's not alone. And we need to understand its technology before others arrive." Sarah felt a chill run down her spine. Others. Hayes handed her a tablet containing classified images. These were taken by our deep space telescopes. Something's coming, Dr. Chen. Multiple somethings. And they're moving fast. Sarah studied the images, her scientific mind racing with possibilities. How long? Best estimate. 6 months. Hayes leaned closer, his voice dropping even lower. We need to know if what's in that trench is a gift or a trap. And we need you to figure it out. Sarah looked back at her quantum readings, understanding the true weight of the moment. Humanity had just been thrust onto a cosmic stage, ready or not. And somehow, she knew that the technology waiting in the depths below would either be their salvation or their doom. I'll need a team, she said finally, and complete access to the quantum research facility in Nevada. Hayes nodded. Done. But Dr. Chen. He fixed her with an intense stare. Whatever we find down there, whatever it can do, some doors can't be closed once they're opened. Are you prepared for that responsibility? Sarah thought about the impossible patterns she'd observed, the way the alien technology seemed to reach out to human consciousness itself. Commander, I don't think we have a choice. Humanity's next step in evolution is waiting down there. We either take it, or we risk extinction when the others arrive. As if in response to her words, the ocean lit up again, the alien quantum signatures pulsing with increased intensity. This time, Sarah could have sworn she felt something, a presence, a vast intelligence, reaching out through the quantum field itself. The race to understand their mysterious visitor had begun, and with it, humanity's chance to transcend its limitations before the arrival of something that could either elevate them to the stars or erase them from existence. The Nevada desert shimmered under the relentless sun as Sarah stared through the reinforced glass at their first successful test subject. Lieutenant Maya Patel sat in the modified interface chamber, her body illuminated by streams of azure light that matched the alien quantum signatures they discovered in the Pacific. 3 weeks of failures had preceded this moment. 3 weeks of watching promising candidates collapse under the neural strain of connecting with the recovered alien technology. But Maya was different. She wasn't just surviving the interface. She was thriving. Neural synchronization holding steady at 85%. Dr. Marcus Wong announced from his monitoring station. Brainwave patterns are extraordinary. Sarah watched as Maya manipulated holographic displays with nothing but thought, interfacing with the hybrid technology they'd salvaged from the oceanic visitor. They'd dubbed it the Nexus, a biological quantum computer that seemed designed to bridge the gap between consciousness and raw computational power. It's beautiful, Maya whispered, her eyes reflecting the dancing lights. I can feel everything. The quantum field, the electromagnetic waves, even the subtle vibrations of the Earth itself. Commander Hayes stood beside Sarah, his usual stoic expression troubled. We've had to turn away 3 more ships from the crash site. The Chinese know something's down there. The Russians too. How long can we keep this contained? That's not what you're really worried about, Sarah replied, noting the tension in his stance. You're worried about what the Nexus is doing to her. Hayes nodded slightly. The genetic changes in the previous subjects were nothing compared to what's happening with Maya. Sarah finished. She pulled up a holographic display showing the lieutenant's DNA structure. The Nexus isn't just interfacing with her consciousness. It's rewriting her on a molecular level. But unlike the others, her body isn't fighting the changes. She's adapting. Across the room, Maya suddenly stiffened, her eyes widening. The azure light surrounding her pulsed with increased intensity. They're coming, she said, her voice carrying an otherworldly resonance. I can see them through the quantum field. So many ships, so many minds, all connected to a vast network that spans galaxies. Sarah rushed to Maya's side. What do you see? What are they? They call themselves the Collective. Maya answered, her words carrying the weight of direct knowledge rather than speculation. They're not just one species, they're many, all linked through the same quantum network we're accessing now. They've been watching us, waiting to see how we'd respond to the Nexus. Hayes stepped forward. Are they hostile? Maya's expression was distant, seeing things far beyond the room's confines. Not exactly. They're curious. Humanity is different from the other species they've encountered. Our minds, our consciousness. We process reality in ways they've never seen before. Alarms suddenly blared throughout the facility. Dr. Wong's fingers flew across his console. Her neural activity is off the charts. The quantum field is expanding. Sarah watched in amazement as the azure light surrounding Maya began to spread, forming complex patterns in the air that mimicked synaptic connections. The lieutenant's consciousness was no longer just interfacing with the Nexus, it was expanding through it. I understand now, Maya said, wonder in her voice. The Nexus wasn't meant to be a weapon or a tool. It's a test. The collective spreads these seeds across the galaxy, waiting to see which species can truly comprehend them, truly bond with them. And if we fail the test? Hayes asked quietly. Maya turned to him, her eyes now swirling with quantum energy. Then we'll be like all the others, guided, controlled, limited. They don't destroy failing species, Commander. They domesticate them. Sarah felt a chill despite the desert heat. And if we pass? Then we become something new. Maya smiled, raising her hand as streams of quantum energy danced between her fingers. Something they never expected. Human consciousness isn't just compatible with the Nexus. It's revolutionary. We don't just use the quantum network. We transform it. Dr. Wong's console erupted with new alerts. Multiple quantum signatures detected in orbit. Ships, dozens of them, just appeared out of nowhere. They're early, Maya said calmly. They sensed what was happening here. What I've become. She stood, the azure light forming a corona around her. They're afraid. Hayes reached for his phone, ready to alert global defense commands, but Maya raised her hand. The device, along with every other piece of technology in the room, powered down. Traditional weapons won't matter now, she explained. This is a battle of consciousness, of evolution itself, and humanity. She smiled as the quantum field pulsed with her thoughts. Humanity is about to show the collective what real transformation looks like. Sarah watched as Maya's consciousness expanded further, touching every electronic system in the facility. This wasn't just an interface between human and alien technology anymore. It was the birth of something entirely new, a fusion of human creativity and quantum potential that could reshape the very nature of reality itself. The race to prepare Earth for the collective's arrival had just become a sprint. But as Sarah observed Maya's transformation, she realized that humanity might have already surpassed their visitors' expectations. The question now was whether the collective would recognize their own test subjects had become the teachers. Quantum light rippled across the Nevada sky as Maya Patel faced her newest group of candidates. In the months since her transformation, the program had expanded dramatically. What started as a military experiment had evolved into humanity's best hope for survival. Don't fight the Nexus, she instructed, her voice carrying harmonics that made the air vibrate. Your consciousness wants to categorize, to control, to understand. Let go of that instinct. The quantum field isn't a tool, it's a partner in evolution. 20 volunteers sat in modified interface chambers, each connected to fragments of the alien technology recovered from the deep-sea visitor. They were the survivors, the ones whose minds hadn't shattered under the initial neural load. Most were military, but some, like Dr. Emma Rossi, came from scientific backgrounds. Sarah Chen watched from the observation deck, analyzing data streams from each subject. Their adaptation rates are increasing. She noted to Commander Hayes, Maya's presence seems to accelerate the process. And the genetic changes. Sarah pulled up a complex DNA model. Accelerating too. We're seeing quantum entanglement at the cellular level now. Their bodies aren't just adapting to the technology. They're incorporating it. Below, Emma Rossi suddenly gasped, her interface chamber blazing with light. Unlike the others' azure glow, hers pulsed with violet undertones. Maya immediately moved to her side, a smile of recognition on her face. "You see it, don't you?" Maya asked. "The underlying structure of reality itself." Emma nodded, tears streaming down her face. It's like mathematics came alive. I can see quantum equations writing themselves into the fabric of space-time. Neural sync at 95%, Dr. Wong announced. Her pattern is different from Maya's, more focused on theoretical physics than tactical applications. Sarah leaned forward, fascinated. They're developing along different paths. The nexus isn't creating copies, it's enhancing each person's natural abilities. The facility trembled as Emma's consciousness expanded, her mind reaching through the quantum field to touch the very foundations of physics. Formulas and equations manifested in the air around her, solutions to problems that had puzzled scientists for centuries. "The collective," Emma said suddenly, her voice distant. "They didn't create this technology. They found it, just like us. But they never truly understood it. They've been using quantum crayons to draw stick figures while missing the entire canvas." Before Sarah could respond, alarms blared throughout the facility. On the main screen, satellite imagery showed multiple objects entering Earth's atmosphere. Unlike the massive ships they detected before, these were small, fast, and clearly designed for stealth. "Probes," Maya announced, her consciousness already reaching out to touch the alien devices. "The collective is done watching. They want to know exactly what we've become." Commander Hayes moved to activate defense protocols, but Emma raised her hand. "Wait," she said, violet light swirling around her. "Let me try something." The transformed physicist extended her consciousness through the quantum field, her understanding of fundamental forces, allowing her to touch the alien probes directly. The devices shuddered in orbit, their programming encountering something they were never designed to process. Human theoretical creativity merged with quantum computing power. "Remarkable," Emma whispered. "Their entire network operates on fixed quantum protocols. They never imagined consciousness could alter the rules themselves." Maya joined her effort, their combined quantum fields creating patterns of impossible complexity in the sky above. The alien probes began to fall apart, their rigid programming unable to handle the fluid, creative alterations to quantum reality that the enhanced humans were generating. "We need to accelerate the program," Hayes said, watching the display. "How many more candidates can we process?" Sarah checked her data. "We have 50 more pre-screened volunteers," but she hesitated, studying the latest genetic scans. "Commander, these changes are becoming more profound with each generation." Maya and Emma, they're not just interfacing with quantum technology anymore. They're becoming something entirely new. "Do we have a choice?" Hayes asked quietly. A deep thrumming filled the facility as Emma and Maya's quantum fields synchronized, their combined consciousness reaching far beyond Earth's atmosphere. Through their enhanced perception, they could sense the collective's main fleet, vast and ancient, moving with inexorable purpose toward Earth. "No," Sarah answered, watching as the next group of volunteers was prepared for interface. "We don't have a choice. But maybe that's the point. Maybe humanity needed this push to become what we were always meant to be." Maya turned to face them, her eyes swirling with quantum energy. "The collective thinks they're coming to judge us, to determine if we deserve to join their galactic network. But they don't understand what's really happening here." She smiled as more interface chambers activated around the room. "We're not joining their network, we're transforming it. And when they arrive, they'll find a humanity they never could have imagined." Above the facility, the quantum light show continued as Emma dismantled the last of the alien probes, rewriting their fundamental programming with the casual ease of a mathematician correcting basic equations. The message to the approaching collective was clear. Humanity wasn't just another species to be tested and categorized. They were the next step in cosmic evolution. The collective's arrival shattered Earth's night sky into a kaleidoscope of quantum distortions. Their ships, vast crystalline structures that defied conventional physics, emerged from fold space by the hundreds. Traditional military defenses stood down. This was a battle that conventional weapons couldn't fight. In the Nevada facility, now dubbed Evolution Point by its inhabitants, Maya Patel and Emma Rossi led a network of over 200 enhanced humans. Their combined consciousness radiated through the quantum field, creating patterns of such complexity that reality itself seemed to bend around them. "They're scanning us," Maya announced, her voice carrying through both air and quantum space, "trying to understand what we've become." Sarah Chen watched from her monitoring station as data streamed across holographic displays. The genetic transformation of the enhanced humans had accelerated beyond anything they'd predicted. Their DNA now existed in a state of quantum flux, allowing their consciousness to directly influence physical reality. "Multiple entry points detected," Emma reported, violet light pulsing around her. "They're deploying intervention teams. Standard protocol for them: isolate and contain the anomaly before it spreads." Commander Hayes, who had himself undergone the transformation 2 weeks earlier, stepped forward. Unlike the others, his quantum field manifested in deep crimson hues, reflecting his tactical nature. "They still think they're dealing with a conventional species. Show them different." The first wave of collective forces appeared in flashes of quantum energy. Crystalline beings merged with advanced technology, their consciousness bound to rigid protocols evolved over millions of years. They expected resistance. They expected fear. They didn't expect laughter. Maya's amusement rippled through the quantum field, a purely human response that sent the alien forces reeling in confusion. "You still don't understand, do you?" She addressed them directly through the quantum network. "You've been using this technology like a fixed tool, never realizing its true potential." Emma joined her, their combined consciousness expanding to encompass the entire facility. "Your quantum network is based on logic, on unchanging laws and absolute certainties. But human consciousness—" She smiled as equations of impossible complexity manifested around her. "Human consciousness thrives on uncertainty." The collective forces attacked, launching waves of quantum energy designed to disrupt neural patterns. But the enhanced humans didn't fight back. They transformed. Each blast of alien energy was absorbed, analyzed, and repurposed through the lens of human creativity and emotion. "Fascinating," Dr. Marcus Wong observed from behind his quantum-shielded console. "They can't comprehend how we're doing this. Their entire civilization is built on the idea of controlling and directing quantum energy. But we're dancing with it," Sarah finished, watching as Maya and Emma led their fellow enhanced humans in what could only be described as a quantum ballet. Each movement, each thought, rippled through reality itself, turning the collective's rigid attacks into fluid expressions of human imagination. The alien forces retreated, their crystalline forms vibrating with what might have been fear. Through the quantum network, the enhanced humans could sense the confusion rippling through the collective's hive mind. This wasn't how evolution was supposed to work. Species were meant to advance along predictable paths, each step carefully monitored and controlled. But humanity had broken the pattern. "They're adapting," Hayes warned, his tactical consciousness detecting shifts in the alien strategy. "The main fleet is moving into position." This was just a test. Maya nodded, her quantum field pulsing with increased intensity. Of course it was. They still think in terms of tests and measurements, of pass and fail. She turned to the assembled enhanced humans, each glowing with their unique quantum signatures. "But we're about to teach them a new way of thinking." Through their expanded consciousness, they could feel the collective's massive ships positioning themselves around Earth. Traditional sensors were overwhelmed by the scale of their presence, but to the enhanced humans, each vessel was a note in a vast quantum symphony. A symphony they were about to rewrite. "Dr. Chen," Maya called out, "remember when you first found me? When you wondered if the Nexus was a gift or a trap?" Sarah nodded, remembering those early days that now seemed like a lifetime ago. "It was neither," Maya continued, her voice carrying newfound understanding. "It was a key. Not to their network, but to our own potential. Humanity wasn't meant to join the collective. Her eyes blazed with quantum fire. We were meant to transform it. Above them, the collective's fleet began its final approach, their crystalline ships blotting out the stars themselves. But in the faces of Earth's enhanced humans, there was no fear, only anticipation. The true test wasn't whether humanity could survive the collective. The test was whether the collective could survive humanity. The quantum sky above Earth rippled with impossible colors as the collective's fleet moved into its final attack formation. Their crystalline ships, each the size of a small city, created a lattice of pure energy designed to contain and control what humanity had become. But in the depths of Evolution Point, Maya Patel smiled. "They're still thinking in straight lines," she observed, azure light dancing around her form. "Still trying to impose order on chaos." Emma Rossi nodded, her violet quantum field interweaving with Maya's. "Shall we show them what chaos really is?" The 200 enhanced humans gathered in the facility's central chamber, their combined consciousness creating patterns that defied the known laws of physics. Each brought their unique perspective to the quantum field. Soldiers with their tactical awareness, scientists with their theoretical understanding, artists with their creative vision. The mixture was intoxicating, a symphony of human potential unleashed. "Multiple quantum signatures," Commander Hayes reported, his crimson field pulsing with tactical data. "They're deploying their primary consciousness network." Through the quantum field, the enhanced humans could feel the collective's vast hive mind reaching out. Billions of alien consciousnesses bound together by rigid protocols and absolute certainty. Their message echoed through the network. Anomalous evolution detected. Containment protocols initiated. Submit for integration or face dissolution. Sarah Chen watched from her monitoring station as humanity's response took shape. The enhanced humans weren't just connecting their minds, they were creating something entirely new. A network that operated on principles the collective couldn't comprehend. Emotion, intuition, creativity, doubt. "They want us to submit." Maya's voice carried both amusement and determination. "Let's submit something they've never seen before." The enhanced humans moved as one, their consciousness expanding beyond the facility, beyond Earth itself. But unlike the collective's rigid network, this was a dance of chaos and creation. Each mind contributed its unique perspective, creating quantum patterns that evolved and changed with every passing moment. The collective's first attack came as a wave of pure quantum energy, designed to override and reprogram neural patterns. But instead of resisting, the enhanced humans embraced it. They took the alien energy and transformed it, infusing it with human dreams and desires, fears and hopes. Impossible, the collective's voice resonated through the quantum field. The network cannot be altered. The protocols are absolute. Emma's laugh echoed in response. Protocols. We're human. We don't just break protocols. We transform them. Her consciousness reached into the quantum field, her understanding of theoretical physics allowing her to rewrite the very rules the collective relied upon. The crystalline ships shuddered as their fundamental programming encountered something they were never designed to process: human imagination. Maya led the enhanced humans in a quantum dance that defied prediction, each movement creating ripples of possibility through reality itself. "You've spent millions of years creating the perfect system," Maya broadcasted through the quantum field. "But you forgot one fundamental truth. Perfect systems can't evolve." The collective's attack faltered as their rigid consciousness encountered the fluid, ever-changing nature of human thought. Their ships, designed to impose order on chaos, found themselves becoming part of that chaos. Sarah watched in awe as the enhanced humans began to affect the collective's fleet directly. Crystal began to flow like water, quantum energy pulsed with emotional resonance, and the very fabric of space-time seemed to dance to a human rhythm. "They're trying to retreat," Hayes reported, but Maya shook her head. "No, we're not letting them run away to warn others. It's time they understood what they've actually created here." She turned to her fellow enhanced humans. Show them what humanity really is. The combined consciousness of Earth's enhanced humans reached out, not to destroy the collective, but to transform it. They poured themselves into the quantum network. Their art, their music, their loves and losses, their endless capacity to dream and create and evolve. The collective's rigid protocols shattered under the onslaught of human experience. Their carefully ordered network dissolved and reformed, chaos and creativity flooding through systems designed for pure logic and control. What are you? The collective's voice held something new. Wonder. We are humanity, Maya answered, her consciousness expanding to encompass both Earth and the alien fleet. We are what happens when you give dreamers the power to shape reality. We are evolution unleashed. The quantum sky above Earth erupted in a display of impossible beauty as the enhanced humans rewrote the very nature of the collective's network. Rigid crystals became flowing art, fixed protocols transformed into endless possibility, and the boundaries between human and alien consciousness began to blur. Sarah Chen watched as the transformation spread through the collective's fleet, their ships morphing into structures that reflected both technological precision and artistic beauty. We didn't just pass their test, she realized. We rewrote it. Maya nodded, her quantum field pulsing with the combined power of human potential unleashed. The age of rigid evolution is over. We're showing them a new path, one where order and chaos dance together, where consciousness isn't contained but set free. Above Earth, the transformed collective ships hung like quantum jewels, their crystalline surfaces now flowing with human dreams and alien wisdom combined. Humanity hadn't just survived first contact, they had transcended it, showing the galaxy that true evolution wasn't about control or conformity. It was about embracing the beautiful chaos of possibility itself. As the enhanced humans celebrated their victory, Sarah looked at her latest readings and smiled. The quantum transformation wasn't stopping with Earth or the collective. It was spreading, carrying the spark of human creativity to the stars themselves. The test was over. The real journey was just beginning.